This is your daily market recap for Thursday, November 24th, 2022. Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well.
This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market recap for Thursday, November 24th, 2022. Happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully you and your family are doing well. Many thoughts, prayers, blessings with everybody around the country and the world as we go into, Thanksgiving, which I find to be one of my more favorite holidays because you get to hang out, relax, and spend it with people you love over a good meal. On that note, let's get into it. I apologize, my voice is kind of raspy, Barry Manilow, deepish, struggling with a voice loss. Feeling a little better. If you notice, I'll probably be sipping on tea. Got a couple throat lozenges to kind of get the throat loosened up. And let's do this. I know a lot of people are looking forward to a recap, and I just figure it's necessary. You got to do what you got to do for your friends and family to keep people informed, because there's a lot going on, and I think a lot of people are sleeping on the markets as of right now, trying to anticipate certain potential things. So let's start off where we're at in this market. I personally believe we're not at the top yet, or coming into the top at the very moment. Starting to see signs of weakness, but doesn't necessarily mean it has to play out as quick as everyone thinks. Sometimes the market can peak, like say the IWM, and then the SPY follows weeks later. Starting to see some of those signs, but here's the hardest thing I think people struggle with, and I struggled with for a while. The market doesn't peak when everyone's bearish, just like the market doesn't bottom when everyone's bullish. I'm not sure what's going to cause the next pop higher or hold up, or to bring in all this amplitude of bullishness that I'd like to see to consider the top be in. I don't know. We're not there yet. It just seems like that. Now the VIX, the VIX item, all these signs of things that come, but what do we know coming into next week? First and last and first 3 business days of a month are usually not always up, but there's markups, markdowns, and there's new money coming in the first 3 business days. So typically it's when you're going to see a top or a bottom. If there's going to be a top, that's where it's going to be. And if it's not, well, then it's going to get interesting, because you got the wash sales, probably a lot of dumping in September, October. Now do they come back in and buy stocks here in December? We shall see. All right, if you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, get the notification bell. It's worth it. If you want to jump in the Discord room, DM me on Twitter, opening the room up occasionally. If you get into the room, please get involved. If not, you're going to get booted pretty quickly. It's a room to help people grow. Sitting idly on the sideline and quiet doesn't really help. Again, if you're following on Twitter, it's worth it. Always posting what we're up to, growing the channel slowly, not really into, again, goal is not to be a social media star. It's to trade well and help others. The goal is, if we have 15, 20 amazing traders in this room, with the tutelage of myself and a few others, it's going to be great, in that you're not going to have to be always like 100% by yourself, buried deep in your own charts, trying to interpret the market for what you think it can be. You're going to have other people giving you extra eyes on the markets, because that's the key. I mean, you don't know your blind spots, right? Because you can't see. Sometimes you can't see certain things, or you're missing things. It's good to have some subject for interpretation opinions. If you've been around, please watch the Back to Basics. I mean, there's literally everything. As you go into next week, where's the first and last 3 business days of the month? Hey, Kat, there's got to be, it's in here somewhere. I mean, I literally have done everything. Oh, here you go. First and last 3 business trading days of the month, what that means. Let's go from there. And again, if you don't want to spend 20, 30 minutes a day educating yourself on the markets, watching the recaps, studying, I honestly, I say this all the time, then don't trade. Don't trade, because you're putting yourself in for the hurt locker. The market's already difficult enough. You think you're going to beat millions, billion-dollar investor institutions that have unlimited resources, and you're just going to somehow show up and just win constantly? No, it's not how it works. All right, let's get into the stocks. Again, apologize for the voice, but let's do this anyway. Who cares? Bitcoin. I've said this for months. Dead money. The best thing going for Bitcoin is the potential another capitulation holding the backside of this trend line. It's pretty damn important. I always love when people are like, Bitcoin is not technical. it's its own currency. It doesn't trade technically. I'm like, people are still people. They're still idiots. They're still emotional. They're still genuinely controlled by their thoughts and their feelings. Everything repeats in the markets. It's just the tickers change. Bitcoin is no different. Back testing. I'm not really bearish or bullish. Said I think it's dead money for a while. Kind of reminds me of what happened to gold for a while after its big run up in 2011. At this point in the cycle with Bitcoin, I don't know if it is the future. I really don't. Central banks will have a lot to say on that. But again, if you're a trader, you know where your stop is. Don't let it get below the mid 15,000s. That's all I can really say on that. Oil. Geez, we got... All right. I'm going to take a minute to talk about this one. Everybody is bearish oil service names. Remember, the XOP is the largest short right now. 55% of the float of an index that's choose your words wisely, Dan. Come on. It's the most heavily shorted index within the S&P 500 right now. Oil itself, major support. Everyone's like, why does it matter? Well, 76. 1776. No, sorry, wrong holiday. There you go. It's double bottoming. And I've said people all the time, and I repeat this thesis every day, but I'm amazed how every day in the Discord room, like, what do you think this? And the market's going to do that. And then at this point, I've said this 1,000 times. The Feds are in a sweet spot, y'all. That's why it's very difficult to get what I would call bearish, because oil's near the lows. Bonds have been creeping up. GDP continues to be positive. As long as we keep spending money on Ukraine, our GDP is going to be positive again this quarter coming up. I mean, you have enough spending to outweigh everything else negative in the economy, so that it doesn't look like the market's going to fall off a cliff. Now, how does the market get smoked? We talked about this. You know, if you want to see that brisket get smoked and melt, see the market melt, burnt end, what are you going to have to do? You're going to need to see commodities rise. You're going to have to put the Feds in a position to go, you know what? We have to raise rates even more. Because right now, the market get really comfortable with oil in the 70s, interest rates in the coming back down, the worst potentially behind us kind of thing. I mean, that's what the market's trying to price in. Now, everyone's screaming recession for next year. I get it. But the thing is, you got to have the Feds continue to raise rates. You got to get the Feds to continue to pump rates higher. I apologize for the congestion again. At this point, this is why it's very hard to short. Feds are in the sweet spot. So, oil now. I think you can buy this. Absolutely. Absolutely steal down here. And it's easy with stops. Minimum, you're getting back up into 93. But don't you think the Feds start getting a little more nervous when you see triple-digit oil? So put yourself in a position, maybe the backside of this old trend line. Keep it simple. Gas has already been starting the move, what I thought would happen. Congratulations to those who bought down here, who had the patience to wait and let it chop through. You had a broadening pattern, now you are breaking out. Goal is just to stay over the 7s. If the next comes the 8s, I mean, nothing's been fixed. I mean, you can't print your way into more supply for oil and gas. You can't cutting in, rates, government stuff, nothing's helping create supply. This is an ongoing, recurring issue. Dangerous. Now what? Seems likely. Just remember, when this thing starts cooking, it cooks. That's why I was telling people, you got to be careful, because when it bottomed and it chopped, once it started going, that's bullish. Now you're up at new highs off the lows. If you consolidate some, don't be butthurt by it, technically. Just let it do what it's going to do. Trade around it. More you're up, less you're on. But be aware now. The best advertisement for higher prices, higher prices. Now you can start getting the go. Worst case scenario, it's another one of these chop zones coming after a slightly higher high. We'll see. I mean, I personally don't think there's any reason why oil, gas, all this stuff shouldn't rise. I mean, they have not fixed it. I mean, when I say they, nothing's been fixed. The dollar. Nobody thought it was going lower except us. We talked about it. Trying to see if it'll get down to the 200-day in this old channel. And here's another thing. Fed's in the sweet spot. markets seem to be calming down. Dollars losing momentum near term. I mean, if you think about it, literally since September, you need to get the dollar higher. You're going to need to see the Feds get stronger on their interest rate policy, right? You're going to need to see some world pain. At this point, I'm telling you, this is not all stuff that looks bearish to me. TLT. Congrats if you bought this on this trend area and the higher low. Struggle with this one, holding around the 101s, but at this point, and here you go, Fed's in the sweet spot, right? They're liking how people are buying bonds. They're liking that. They're liking the lower rates. Remember, TLT higher, lower rates. I mean, you can make an argument for a lot of different things here. We'll see. I mean, I personally, again, the interest rates that go higher. Remember, this is the thing I think people don't forget. Like, literally, bonds and stocks this year had the best and worst correlations, meaning best in that they moved together. Worst being that when the market was down, so were bonds. Look at this stuff. Literally. Market peaked in November, December. So did TLT. Lowest rates to the highest rates. Near term, hey, market likes this a lot. Because remember, volatility in the market in bonds is not, again, if you start ripping higher, then something's wrong. But coming off of a base after a straight move down, I don't see anything technically wrong with it. I mean, like, too fast, too furious. I'd just be watching. I'd be watching how fast we move. We're at the 0.382. Can I see? Move this over. Yeah. There you go. Get out of the way. Here you go. Probably the 106s make sense, right? It'll be this zone. Let me just expanding out of the fib. Come on. There you go. Probably the 100-day, 106 all line up together. You know, as I always do, taking notes. TLT 106 50 fib. UUP, I want to see the 200-day. See what happens down there. Near 20, what is it? 28. 28. Darth Vader. Man, my voice, when it's this deep, can do the Vader voice real well. Maybe I'll do the rest of the video with Lord Vader. The VIX. The VIX has filled the gap. Now what? Han Solo. Man, that's hard. We filled the gap. Now, here's the thing again. I said, how many times is the VIX? And I asked people, I'm like, all right, now the VIX has filled the gap. Again, we were the only ones talking. Again, I don't want to brag about it. Who gives a crap? You're only as good as your last trade. When we get down to the bottom, is it just V bottoms? No, it's not. Skywalker. We chop bottom. We're going to do a lot of chopping, potentially. At worst, this kind of chop. Even here, you had a chop and a higher low. Everybody wants to buy the UVXY. Shoot me in the face. No. Don't do it. Don't do it. Now, is the diesel... now, because people remember there's like a diesel issue going on. I'm not talking about Shaq Diesel, which Shaquille has a special on HBO. Pretty awesome. You should watch it. I was laid up not feeling well watching that on Willie Mays and Shaq. Great HBO specials. Let it play out. I know everyone wants to short, but I'm just telling you, I don't think it's the time is right. SPY. More you're up, less you own. That's what you should be doing. Here comes the 200-day and the upside targets. I don't know why we wouldn't touch that. And I mean touch, not like pedophilia touch. Talking about like hit it. We're going to hit this area. Boom, bam. It's going to cause a lot of emotions. I don't know why I chose that. I guess it's now I was watching some other stuff on TV. Again, be careful watching TV. It affects your emotions and thoughts. The things that you watch influence you. Not watching that in the bad way, but like Jess loves unsolved mysteries and all that crime, murder mystery stuff. Sorry. Back to the point. I still think you're going to hit SPY 405 minimum. Remember how we talked about this in August. We were going to make a lower, get close to it, hit it exactly, or go above it. I don't know why we wouldn't do the same thing. However, at this point, write in your notes, we need bearish. We need bullishness. We need bullishness beyond belief. We need the arguments for the new bull market. Do y'all not remember that in August? There are certain people in the room going, "You're an idiot. You played the up and dumped. This is the start of the bull market. You freaking loser." Endless trolling by folks. They're like, "Okay, we're shorting. Shut the F up." Doo-doo-doo. I mean, here it is. Here's your channel. So what channel? 405 to 410. Keep it simple, stupid. Those same folks, I mean, I had to boot them because they're so annoying, but this is the time that you'd like to hear them speak. Qs. Still think you get somehow into the 290s. How, why, I don't know. They've lagging. I mean, I've told you tech is crap. Tech is crap. Tech is crap. That's all I can say. People keep wanting to buy it. Great. Trade it. Whatever. Keep in mind, so the market peaked in August, right? Had another bounce in May, June. Because I just want people to watch. So here's the IWM. We talked about the 180s, one high 180s, 190s. I think the high was exactly 189.95 or 55. It's starting to lag. All you really need to know is, all right, does it continue lagging? Just put that in your radar. Put that in your Christmas stocking to watch. Now, just keep this in mind, though. So the IWM, apologize, let me clear my throat. Let me clear my throat. Huh. Sorry. I peaked in November. What's up, Cap? The 5th. Look at when the SPY peaked. It didn't peak until what? January 4th. 2 months. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to need 2 months up here of this game, charade. But I'm also not saying it couldn't happen. Because the IWM could do this crap. Remember, I mean, it just looked like crap. But I personally believe if materials and stuff hold up, IWM typically does a little better. Remember, they have banks that hold up better. Actually, they got the small banks in here. Material names. Trying to look at the May, June. It definitely did pretty well. Coming off that low. And then didn't make a crazy new low when the market hit the dumper. Keep that in mind. At this point, though, just save your voice. No, I'm just saying, be thoughtful. We do have potentially the recurring pattern of getting over the 200-day and failing. But the 20 days holding. So just watch the 20-day. Again, I don't know if the market's going to absolutely implode. Doesn't feel like it because not everybody's screaming bullishness. You can't peak unless the market is just all crazy bullish. We're not there yet. Everybody hates the market. Gold talked about. Man, I literally said this. Watch when it pulls back. There'll probably be a multi-day range. Here you go. 1, 2, 3. Didn't even retest the 161s. Luckily, for those who knew, saw this coming, congrats. 161 up to, that's solid. I think we can still get up to the 0.786. I've talked about this a lot lately because it just, again, I haven't been trading a ton of gold lately, but now you know. 0.786s matter. They just always do on gold. I don't know why. It seems to be that the market makers who control the material love to screw people over because then once you get over the 0.618, everyone's going, oh, you got to go 1-to-1. We're going new highs. No, the market maker says no. No. Lawrence Fishburne. Is it Lawrence Fishburne? No, who's the voice of... Maybe it is a Lord Vader. Anyway, silver. I mean, that wasn't even pulling back at all. I mean, it hit the range lows. I was like, oh, maybe it'll hit the 20 to. Again, I know people looking at shorting the miners. I'm waiting. Here you go, making higher highs. There you go. So here comes the 200-day. Do. Yeah, leave it alone. I mean, not leaving it alone. If you're long it, cool. I mean, I keep telling people, I have a little bit of gold and wanted to add some. I personally wasn't going to It's hard when I get to the point where I have a little bit left and I don't really. Again, you get so neutral to the point of it's like I didn't add because I wasn't really feeling that well. I wasn't here around Tuesday. Wednesday, I felt like not bad, but I'm like, I need a rest. Still anticipating that. Sorry, I don't know why I'm just like jumping back around, thinking out loud. GDX, yeah, making new highs. Here comes the 200 day. I don't trust these in the sense that I'm like going all in for the long run, but they're tradable. AG 20 day held. Looks good. Probably channel high. Said this many times. 1030s. AEM. Making new highs off the lows. This is not bearish. Simple. Newmont. Piece of crap. Over the 100 day. People get excited. Again, it's probably going to trap people, right? Like it's going to pull people in. PAAS. Man, I forget when that deal with Newmont Gold. Either way. Be watching. We'll be watching. Let's get into tech. Tech that is. AMD. Light week, holiday week retests. Yeah. Meh. I don't know. I mean, NVIDIA. Oh, wow. I didn't realize it was back to 165. Interesting. Meh. I mean, retest. Maybe the 200 day. I mean, I'm itching like everyone else, SMH, and I'm not talking about like athlete's footage, and I'm talking about like shorting the SMH and hit the 200 day again and backed off. The only problem is it's not like backing off that strong. 20 days catching up. It's like this kind of crap right here. I think it gets a new high. We're holding over the old channel. You do the math here, folks. This isn't easy. I don't know where the top is. But I wouldn't attempt it until 228 plus. If you can't get short at least that high, then be careful. Jeez, sorry. Adobe. Held the 20 day. Nice. Apple. Doesn't look like it's about to roll over. Just chopping. This 20, 50 day cross has to hold. I don't know why it wouldn't come back up into the 150s at some point. Unless the rioting in China somehow, again, they're going to move all of their manufacturing out of there at some point. Good for them. Maybe the market likes it. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Amazon. It's Prime Day every day. Yeah, we get it. Dead money. 20 days the problem here. It's making a higher low, holding this gap. Could it pop because of Black Friday stuff? I mean, here's your like reference. You got to stay above this if you want to long it. Stay over 90. Nah, meh. CRM, tech. It's a little harder. Yeah, making a little higher low, but it's just chop cycle. I don't want to even talk about it. Google, chop cycle. I like that's holding over the 50 day. Maybe like, I mean, it got over it multiple times in the chop cycle. Maybe it's coming up into the range highs. Meh. Meta. Talked about how the market makers are a liquidity-driven mechanism. As soon as everybody, their earnings look like they're going to tank and that they're laying people off, I was like, watch, the market makers probably going to move it up because they got to unload some volume and they have shorts they need to cover. They're liquidity-driven mechanism. Mechanism. Moving on. Microsoft. Not down. That doesn't look that bad. Here comes a hundo. Gotta get up in the 270s. That would be the short, man. I'm putting that one in my notes again. 270s. Oof, if you see that. Short it. NDAQ. Lupus hit me up when it was making new highs. Ended up closing all my shorts on it. I don't think I updated people. I apologize. I had some March stuff. I just dumped it all. I'm like, God dang it. The market ain't turning over yet. I put the cash in the sideline, the wait. Stops got hit. What do you do? Like, I didn't want to see new highs. Now that wick is a little ominous, but shit, I can't watch it. Putting it back in the queue. Just watch. Man, you gotta, what is it? It's mid 68s. I apologize if I didn't I didn't tell everybody. I mean, I got popped on it and I didn't even really think about it. I just think I was just so annoyed. I remember Lupus said something like, a little smiley face. I was like, damn it. I mean, it might be one of those ones where you're late. See what happens. Not ideal. MicroStrategy. Voice is losing as it go further. Holding. Netflix talked about this. Pulling back to the 20-day could go a little lower. Like it did here. Congratulations if you bought it. It's nice. Again, personally, I haven't been feeling. Again, I wasn't that feeling. I was just snowboarding on Tuesday and felt like trash last night. Yesterday, not terrible, but no voice. I just didn't. I don't know. It's just the holiday. Sometimes I don't. And you'll do this too if you're trading and watching as much. Sometimes you just need a mental break from the freaking market, man. You can't watch it all every day, every day, every hour, all year, man. It just boggles your mind because there's a lot to try to understand and try to like stay on top of. Sometimes you just need like, and here's a little warning for you. Whenever you're not feeling well, watching the market will not make you feel better. It just creates more mental anxieties, and you can't rest. Your brain just chugging too hard. Sometimes when you're not feeling well, just take your losses, stop out, sell whatever, and just relax a little bit. Market will be around tomorrow, next day, the following week. I like this. I like this a lot. To go back to the channel highs, maybe hit the upside target zone. Roblox. Look at that. Building, maybe a little look below and fail. This is hard, choppy. I think they get bought out at some point. Tesla. Someone was talking about the 170s. We were talking about the fib extension. That's a nice. Oh shit. Put that in your notes. Tesla pro gap off the lows. Maybe oil and gas are going higher. I'm just thinking out loud in my brain, like, okay. Because if you're a bear, that's not what you want to see. Because even though it was a holiday week or day, that's above average volume. Why is my volume? I usually have my Bollinger Bands. No. Oh, here we go. Volume moving averages. Why is it not on there? There you go. Oh, it looks like crap. Oh, it just changed everything. Give me 2 seconds. I don't want 20. I want 30. Color. We want green. Sure. Whatever. I'll go back and fix it. But you know what I'm saying? Do you see it now? I apologize. I don't know why that dipped off here. But you see this above average volume. That's interesting to me. I'll have to go back and fix it. But professional gap with above average volume, put that on your notes. It might have a little rip in it. All right, let's get into materials, all my fun stuff. Letter X, building. Building said once it gets over 200 day, probably get right back up to 26. You're welcome. Now what? Isn't it? 28. New core. Talked about it once it got over like the mid 140s. Man, did it tap exactly at our lows? Pretty close. Pretty damn close. Stuff that doesn't look bearish, right? Market's going to roll over. I mean, that's decent above average volume. Man, that's really frustrating. I got to update it. Why is it not as easy as it used to be to update it? Yeah. Okay, so that's the moving average. Let me change it to blue. Let's do some like thicken it up. Pot style. Cool. All right. Whatever. Sorry, I'm just you guys know how it is, trying to be a perfectionist. It's interesting. Looks like it's looking strong. VALE holding up. Keeps holding this 15 area. If the dollar's going weaker, this is going to go right back up to 16. Arrow, somebody was like, oh, it's a bear flag about to roll over. I'm like, no. I mean, you had the volume at the lows. We talked about this being a bot. God, this is just driving me nuts. I need it thicker. There you go. That. I have not messed with the studying for what? Title color? I don't know. The point being is, no, it doesn't look like it's bear flag. It looks like it's more of bottoming. I've said check out the monthly on this thing before. I mean, we hit the channel lows. I mean, I'm looking for that long term to retest. I just don't think this is going down to the ground. I'm moving right along. CCJ. Eddie, Freddy, whatever, selling puts on this. Out to June 2023. One of the stupidest trades I think you possibly could do. Why? Because you have all the risk putting yourself that far out. We don't know what's going to happen. Hate putting that much time out there on something that could be volatile. I mean, they got their Westinghouse deal coming. So far, we've talked about it has to hold 22s. It did. See what happens to get up here, 25. CF talked about like it needs to get over 110, 111 to really break out. I personally don't have a problem with it backing off today. People are like, oh, it didn't go again, damn it. Like, this is like a big consolidation pattern. You should be thankful you can trade it, but also just watch what happens here. I mean, everything that's going on with what they're trying to, like, price caps on everything, that they're just going to piss Russia off more. I feel like this stuff is about to go. It's just a matter of when. And here's one thing, so I say don't chase. Well, here's the one example of when I don't consider this chasing, but watch the action. If we get over 110, this is a base. I think we can get up to 120s easily. Mosaic holding 50 area. Doesn't look like there's really anything wrong with it. Just choppy, sloppy. NTR. And it's really a hard one. But man, if it doesn't look wrong, y'all. AA. Talked about this buying the dips. Man, congrats if you bought that dip. Here you go. If we can break the trend line, get over the 50 area. Don't know why I couldn't get right back up into the mid 50s. Mid to upper 50s too, right? I like these names. There's nothing really to say. I mean, if you've been watching them, trade them. They're just, to me, they're easier to trade because they're holding up better, and they probably won't have endless bad news like a lot of other tech names. It just seems okay to me. I mean, if you have questions about any of these, again, CF, I mean, you can play the breakout. If you're trading it, great. I got knocked out of it. And then, of course, it rallied back because that's what the market makers do. I was waiting for the 200-day. We never got it. Talked about it when it held between here. Well, damn, if this ain't maybe it potentially started the move, right? Professional gap. Sorry, I want to go back and talk about that. I was like, how did you just miss that, you idiot? It's sitting right in front of you. That could be it. And now, basing doesn't hurt, right? High and tight is not bearish. XBI. Holding. Little bear trap. Come right back to the range highs. Again, not really that excited about it. XLF. XFL. There it goes. Making new highs. I told people you can't be bearish if the financials are holding up. Everybody wants to short the freaking financials. I'm like, stop it. Broadening pattern. You're not far. 36.40. See what happens when I get up there. I'm hoping to see the FAS at like 90 to short it. If XLF is ready, the market's ready. Remember, do not chart this shit. I'm just showing you the numbers. Sorry. This is hard. Throat hurts a lot. Morgan Stanley. Upside target zone. Wait for the retest. JP Morgan. These guys have been killing it. Be careful shorting them. They're making new highs. I don't know why you wouldn't retest like 140 maybe. They're doing really well. Remember, they've tricked so many people this quarter. They're doing great. Solar, TAN. Told y'all, be careful shorting this stuff. Holding up. Could it get in the 80s? Upper 80s? Possible. ENPH hit up the channel high or range highs. Still got the channel up here, 330s. Not on it. Sedge. Talked about this being a professional gap on the earnings and going. Look at this. Still making higher highs and higher lows, y'all. Everyone wants a short solar. So do I, but I'm just not going to do it. First solar said 164 might be the good spot. Well, guess what? Now it's just making higher highs beyond what I would consider. I mean, where's the 2x range? Oh, why is it not showing? Hold on. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. 175. Okay. I mean, you just can't. That's why sometimes you gotta be, and this is, let me just preface this whole lesson again. You can't just short to short. You gotta know what's going on. I mean, it's just making higher highs. You were like, oh, you were wrong on it. And like, no, wrong would have been actually shorting it and saying I'm shorting it no matter what. I just said, do not be early on these names. I was like, if oil gas hold up, I don't know why these wouldn't hold up if the market holds up. Remember, market's in a sweet spot. Said that 1,000 times. USO. Nice little pop backfill. Now, again, it's not as important, some of these zones on USO. It's kind of the crappy ETF, but this is where it gets real sexy. Volume. Here's your like shoulder line. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Yeah. If it holds, I think we're about to fly. I really do. Kind of reminds me of UNG playing games. Chop, chop, chop. Go, go, go. Look at this volume. God, I hate how it's all green. But y'all see this? This is the first decent volume since the lows. Last time you had it, I mean, I guess these lows were a pop and then a flop. We'll see. We shall see, because it feels more like of a basing volume to go. There's so many problems with oil and gas. I mean, it's not even worth rehashing, but y'all see it. My voice hurts. Love it. UNG. Congrats. Trade around the position. Y'all know. We talked about once it got over this 2060, this gap was probably not bearish. Told people that. Especially the way it closed. Now here you go. Watch this area. Watch it hold up in here. It's fine. XOP. Everyone's short. I don't think they remember what happened in June and May. Slingshot, smash, bears. I mean, went from 125 up to 170. 145, maybe up to like 185. I don't know. Last leg, straight line move, blow off top. You could see that. You could absolutely see that. I mean, you couldn't even really you backed off, which is interesting. Then I said, what, mid 40s. Hit it, rallying. We'll see. Everyone expects the world, everything about to fall over. ExxonMobil, high and tight. Here's the monthly channel. Doesn't look terrible. Just basing at the highs. Uh-oh. Basing could be good or bad. Occidental holding up really well. Ended on PXD. Added some dips on this. This one has been hard because it's such a wild monster. If you didn't get any of these lows, talked about dollar cost averaging some of this. Then traded around a little bit of it, and then watched the close. I was like, yes, Skywalker, yes, bull, go. I like that close. Got to get over the 20-day now. All right, got any questions? Let me know. I got to fix my charts. If we can get over the channel, here comes your upside target. Yeah, it's a pretty solid move. 235 up to 280s. This thing rips. Keep telling people on the monthly, it doesn't look bad. You're like, what do you mean it doesn't look bad? I'm like, the stock is like holding up really well. It's still holding over the 2013 highs, right? Like zoom out, like here's like ExxonMobil, right? Same kind of thing. Like these stronger stocks are holding over their highs from 2013. So anyway, have a great, happy Thanksgiving. Great day. Hopefully my voice can only get better from here. I appreciate all the love, support, the donations. Very generous of you guys. I know a lot of y'all understand the value of a cheap tuition. It's all on you. I appreciate the all the friendship, camaraderie, and just getting to know everybody. It's good. It's good stuff. Let's keep it all going. I will talk to you guys and gals in the Discord room. Peace.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.